begin. Hedging currency risk. As I told you, the currencies are quite volatile and can impact the profitability of the companies. You know, sometimes the dollar appreciates, sometimes the rupee appreciates, and we are transacting into all those currencies, whether euros, yen, whatever, and our business transactions are into multi-currencies. If you are a company which is a multinational or which is, having exposure in foreign currency. So let's begin with that. So hedging currency is a way for a company to minimize or ये कहाँ चला गया? No signal? आपके सबके प्रोजेक्टर ऐसे ही हो गए सर? ऊपर रख और भी कुछ है क्या? आगे स्क्रीन मूव हुई थी लेकिन क्या हो गया? आगे. Okay. So just to begin again, it's a way for a company to minimize or eliminate the foreign currency exchange risk. Okay. Now there are two kinds of ways through which a company can eliminate the foreign currency risk. One is called the internal techniques within the business itself. Okay, if you are importing, exporting, you have large organizations which have multi branches abroad, so you can do internal techniques. Then external techniques involve dealing with a third party. So you have to either engage a third party, go to a bank, go to the stock exchange, okay, and try to use those external techniques. So let's understand first the internal techniques. Okay, the first one is leading and lagging. Okay, so this technique is called, this is internal technique, leading and lagging. Leading means advancing a payment, that is making a payment before its due date. Suppose you have exposure in dollar, okay, and you expect the dollar to appreciate because of your short-term, assessment of the dollar. So you would like to prepone the payment, and dollar from 80 to 85. So you make the payment at 81, 82, so that you don't have to pay higher amount. So this is called leading. Leading means advancing a payment, that is making a payment before. Lagging involves postponing a payment, that is delaying the payment beyond its due date. Now, if you're an importer, then of course the leading would be very apt for you, because you would like to make a payment earlier if you think the dollar is going to appreciate, or any other currency, for example, euro or yen. Okay, if you think that yen, euro, or dollars are going to appreciate and your exposures are in the underlying currencies, then you can, make the payment early. But if you're an exporter, okay, fine. So you can, prepone the payment. Lagging means postponing payment, delaying the payment beyond its due date. Okay. So that means you would like to delay the payment. Okay. So let's understand how it fits to the exporter and importer. For example, X Limited imports 1 lakh goods from abroad. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to shift it to the new slide, because it carries uh, the latest, I've just changed them. Okay. So, okay. So these were the end. Now, ये क्या है भाई?
उधर वाला भी आई थिंक हाँ दिन क्लास में बढ़िया चल रहा था ऑपोजिट साइड वाला खाली पड़ी आई थिंक अभी तो लाइट बेटर
This, then it may work. Okay, let's understand an example. Suppose X Limited imports 1 lakh goods from abroad, and the current rate is 3 rupees 80. Okay, and payment after 6 months. So you are basically what, an importer, and you are supposed to pay $1 lakh payment, but after a certain time, after 6 months, and today the exchange rate is 80. Now, X Limited expects that the dollar would appreciate significantly in the next 6 months. So what he'll do, he plans to pay the amount upfront. So he'll like to make the payment upfront in last, because anyway he has to make the payment if he thinks the dollar is going to go high. So he may make the payment immediately rather than wait for the time to come. Okay. Then again that's a lagging one. For example, there's an Indian firm which is due to receive payments from its customers. Suppose you are an exporter and you're going to get a payment from a customer. What happens? The customer is in the UK and you press on a prompt payment from the customer if you expect the pound rate to fall in future. So if you think the pound is going to depreciate against the rupee, which is going to cause a lower money in terms of rupees to you. For example, let's say if the pound was 92 today, and say it is going to be 90 in future, so that means you will get, today you are getting 92 rupees per pound, and after some time, if the pound depreciates against the rupee, okay, or rupee appreciates, you're going to get 90 bucks. So you would ask your customer to pay it if your customer agrees for that. Okay, fine. So when this happens, we say the Indian firm is leading its receivables. Is that okay? Fine. Now, these are internal techniques, depends upon, the cooperation of your, the customer or your supplier, if he is willing. Okay, if you have to make the payment immediately, he'll accept it. But if you are asking for an early payment from an exporter, if you are exporting, then it will all depend on your customer whether he pays upfront or not. Anyway, so invoicing in domestic currency. Now, if you don't take an exposure at all in dollar or pounds or euros, then you can avoid that. But that means you're shifting the risk to your supplier or customer, basically, instead of taking your risk on your shoulders. And first of all, your customer should agree for that. Okay, that he will accept a rupee invoice or against the dollar or yen or pound invoice. Okay, of course, recently about a year back, RBI has come up with the circular that India can trade in rupee. Now, of course, that circular was mainly for Ukraine. At the time of war, when they were exporting or importing goods from Russia, because Russia, they can't trade in dollars, so they said that we can always bill them in rupee. It should be acceptable to Russia, and Russia will definitely welcome that because they were not able to trade in dollars. So X Limited invoices rupees 82,000 for the exports. At the time of export, the dollar is $1 is equal to 82, and payment receivable after 6 months. Okay, so you are basically an exporter and you are going to receive the money after 6 months. So you are going to invoice, to your customer at rupee 82,000. Okay, now suppose it was 82 and it becomes 80 after 6 months. X is going to receive 82,000. For him, he is not taking any hit on his shoulder. He has billed 82,000, he'll get 82,000. Okay, but then who is going to do? Importer has to pay. Instead of $1,000, now he's supposed to pay 1,025. How? Because now the rate has become 82. So 82 divided by 80, it comes to $1,025. So the other guy has to pay more in dollar terms. You are getting your own money. Probably if your customer accepts this, so you can always shift the responsibility or the risk to the other party. But these are, may or may not be possible at all the times. Okay, nobody is willing to accept rupee invoice. If you're in US or England you will have the invoice in pounds, and if you're in US, they will say that we want our invoice to be in dollars, so that we can pay in dollars or in pounds in our own country currency rather than currency of Indian. Yeah. We can always do anything, but only thing is it should be acceptable to the other party. Okay. So this is only when the other party is willing to take the risk. If you are a monopolist, okay, then he may do it because he can't get the goods from anywhere in the world. He can get it from India. So Indian guy would say that I'm going to bill in rupees. So he has no choice. He'll accept. But if he has a choice to get the goods from anywhere, so he will say, no, I want my invoice to be in my local currency rather than in your local currency, because then the risk is on my shoulders and not in you. Okay, fine. Now netting. Okay, exposure netting is a method of hedging currency risk by offsetting exposure in the one currency with exposure in same or another currency. Okay, now netting is generally when the companies are related to each other. There's a holding subsidiary or you have a joint venture. Now what happens is, for example, X India Limited owes $1 lakh to its group company X USA Limited for the goods supplied, and X USA Limited also owes $80,000 for the services provided to X India Limited. So you have a customer relationship as well as a supplier relationship with the same guy. Okay, you have to get 1 lakh and he has to pay 80,000. So you can have a netting of that and just be square up the amount and then deal with the only the net amount. Okay, so then your exposure is going to go down. Fine. Is that okay? Now, in another currency also, for example, X in limit, if you do it with the exposure in the same or another currency. Now, that was a dollar versus dollar. Now, here is dollar versus pound. So, X India owes $1 lakh to its group company X UK Limited for the goods supplied. And X UK Limited also owes 78,000 pound for the services provided to India. Now, if suppose that $1 is equal to say pound 78, then of course that the receivable and the payment gets knocked off. Okay, then nothing is transferred, and we can have squaring up the amount with the same companies. Then there is no foreign currency risk to either you or to your company abroad. Okay, now. Now the main parts, okay, these were all internal techniques, okay, and of course there are one or two more which I skipped, but these are the most important ones for you to understand at the moment. Then we have, external techniques, the most important one, okay, we are going to spend most of the time here. First is called a forward contract, okay, where you enter into a forward contract with a bank, okay, you purchase dollars from him, pounds from him, and fix the rate today, okay, even if the dollar appreciates, then you are not worried about it. Forward contract, okay. Futures contract. Now, futures contracts are, they are exchange traded. You have to go to the stock exchange for that. Okay. Forward transactions are when you go to a bank or a financial institutions and take a forward cover. But if you think the futures markets are better, you go to the futures market and do that trade. Okay. But you have to use a stock exchange. Okay. You have to have through the exchange, you are going to manage your risk. Third one are called the option contracts. Okay. Fine. So which are again, where you have to go to the stock exchange for doing the option contract. So we are going to focus mainly on forward futures and options. The third one is called as swap contracts. Okay. Fine. Maybe if time permits, we'll talk about the swap contracts also. Okay. Then let's begin with understanding about what is a forward contract. We have done a little bit, but we are going to, understand more deeply into it. Okay. A forward contract is a customized contract between two parties to buy or sell an asset at a specified price on a future date. Okay, so it's a customized contract between you and the bank. Why? You are going to the bank, okay, and you are entering into a contract. So he is going to tailor make a contract for you, okay, for so many dollars at so date. You are supposed to make a payment, or you are going to receive dollars from abroad if you're an exporter. So you are going to enter in a contract and fix the rate of the foreign currency at which he is going to either take delivery or give delivery. He will take the delivery if you are an exporter, give you the delivery of dollar if you are an importer. Because when you need dollars, you require delivery of dollars. When you are an exporter, you are going to get dollars and you're going to go to the bank and give him the delivery of dollars and he's going to convert that into Indian rupees. Okay. The rates are decided at the time when you entered into a forward contract. Okay. So a forward contract can be used for hedging or speculation. Although it's a non-standardized nature, makes it particularly for apt for hedging. So it is mainly used for hedging, not for speculative purposes. Okay, only the futures are used for speculative purposes. In India, we are using forward for hedging. Okay, so let's understand that a currency forward is a customized written contract between parties that sets a fixed foreign currency exchange rate for a transaction that will occur on a specified future date. Is that clear? So you go to the bank and say that, I have to make a payment of dollar, say 1 million after 6 months. Tell me what is the rate you're going to offer to me today. Okay, fine. So he's going to offer a rate to you. He'll go back and check with the interbank rate and come back and gives you a rate, the merchant rates to you. Okay, so that is only for a future date. The future date for which the currency exchange rate is fixed is usually the date on which two parties plan to conclude or buy or sell transaction of goods. So the date will be decided when you want, ultimately when you either need dollars or you will be receiving dollars and you go to the bank. So nothing but same thing, nothing new here. Currency forward is a customized, some words are rewritten again just for your understanding, so that if you have missed in one, you can take up in the second. A currency forward is a customized written contract between two parties that sets a fixed currency exchange rate for a transaction. I think it's a repetition. Currency forward contracts are used to hedge foreign currency risk. So this is one of the tools whereby you can hedge the currency risk. Okay, fine. They are most commonly made between importers and exporters headquarters in different countries. Okay, fine. Then currency forward contracts primarily utilized to hedge against currency exchange risk. Okay, it protects. Now this is very important. It protects the buyer or seller against unfavorable currency exchange rate occurrences. Okay, if you are an importer, you don't want dollar to appreciate. If the dollar appreciates, then if you have taken a forward contract, then you're not impacted, isn't it? If the dollar, if you have booked your dollar say $80 and it has gone to 85, you're not worried when you're going to make a payment at 80 and not 85 when the day comes. Okay, but if the dollar comes back to 78, then you have to pay at 80 or 82 again, so you're getting the forward payment. So favorable, if it is unfavorable, then you're going to benefit. But if the currency becomes favorable to you, then you will not get the benefit of that, isn't it? Okay. However, parties that enter into a currency forward contract forego the potential benefit of exchange rate that may occur in their favor between the contracting and closing transaction. So this is very important. Gunika, this is very important. Please understand this. Okay, you're not giving focus here. So what happens if suppose you are an exporter? Today it is say 81. Okay, fine. And if you are going to receive the payment, I'm asking this question. Gunika, I expect you to answer this. So if suppose you are an exporter, the rate today is 81. $1 is 81. Now you are going to receive the payment say after 3 months. Okay. Now you went to the bank and say that I'm going to receive dollar. A dollar is after 3 months, so I need a forward dollar. Okay. When you will do that? When you expect the dollar to appreciate or when you expect the rupee to appreciate? My question to you. आपका forward का बढ़ेगी अगर आप exporter हो, okay, and हाँ, rupee to absolutely right. So you're focusing that's not. If when the rupee is going to appreciate, okay, rupee is going to go from 80 to 80 and you're exporting you will get 80 bucks. आज का rate to 82 है, okay, and suppose the rupee appreciates, so you will have something. So I'm very happy with that. Wonderful, great. So because it actually puzzles most of the people. Even if you know everything, but you can always make a mistake. Sometimes you can try to. Okay, so it's not. I mean, these things have sometimes tips in your mind. So if the dollar moves from 82 to 80, which means the rupee is appreciating and dollar is depreciating. So what will happen? It's better not to take a forward call. But I think, sorry, it's better to take a forward call or not? I think it's better to take a forward call. Okay, because you are going to get at 82 and not 80. So if you take a forward call, you are going to get your money at 80. Okay, but if the dollar moves from 82, suppose today rate is 82, goes to 85. Okay, then what happens? If you are an exporter, okay, हाँ forward का बटन लेना चाहिए because then you will get your money at 85. 85 per dollar of your source, isn't it? So anyway, but you don't know anything about it. Okay, what is going to happen to the rupee dollar? Okay, but of course there are technical ways through which you can understand which way the dollar is heading or which way the rupee is heading in a very short period of time. That we are going to learn a little bit maybe in time to come. But depending upon most of the companies, they take a call how the rupee or dollar is going to prevail in the next few months, and then they take a cover whether to take a cover or not. Okay, now let's take an example, a very simple one. Okay, let's say please understand here. So A Limited of India has imported some chemicals worth rupees 25 $64,897 from one of the US suppliers. Okay. What they have done, they have imported some goods and they are going to make a payment of how much? $3,64,000. Okay. The amount is payable in 6 months' time. Okay. Very simple, you can answer it. Okay. The amount is payable in 6 months' time. The relevant spot rate and forward rates are given to you. Okay. Suppose today the spot rate is little older this thing. So it was a bid rate is 74, $1 is 74.21 and ask rate is 74.22. Okay. And the 6 months forward rate which are given to you is 74.32 and 74.327. Okay. Fine. And now, as per your forecast, so you have also made a forecast that what will happen after 6 months. Okay, you can't have the spot rates. Spot rate will be known to you after 6 months, only after 6 months. Okay, but this is the expected spot rates or your forecast rate. The right word should be the forecast rates. Okay, the forecast rates on that particular day is like this: 74.20 and 74.860. Okay, should he hedge his forex exposure or leave it unhedged? If you are an importer, what rate is important for you? Ask. So compare the ask rate, spot rate and the forward rate. Now here you have to focus basically between the spot rate and the 6 month forward rate. So ask rate is today 74.2250 and after 6 months the rate is 74.3. Okay, and the expected spot rate is 74.860. That is after 6 months you are expecting the dollar to become more expensive. But in the forward market it is 70, isn't it? Are we getting what? अभी तो 74.22 है, अब we are going to get here at this rate, so you are going to get it more. But as per the forecast, it's going to be 74.86. So if you don't take the cover, then you are going to make a payment at 74.86. But if you take the cover, you are going to make a payment at this rate. Is that okay? So which is beneficial, forward or you can leave it unhedged? Huh? Forward cover. Forward cover. Why? Why? Because the rate, the expected rate is going to be $74.8 is going to become more expensive after 6 months as per the estimate. But the 6 month forward rate that the bank is quoting you is about 50% cheaper. Okay? Whereas the current rates are around, of any concern you will be able to make the payment after 6 months. Okay? Let's understand this. Amount payable. Now you can solve the answer. You know what happens if you understand that. You don't see the question comes, so you can even solve it in mind. You know which is better. So your answer should be also coming to that. So amount payable in USD after 6 months would be this much. Okay, 3,64,000 into 74.32. So you're going to make 2 crore 71 lakhs 21,699 if you have taken a forward cover. अगर आपने forward cover ले लिया तो आपको इतना पैसा देना पड़ेगा, और अगर आपने नहीं लिया तो अगर spot rate यही हो जाता है, suppose these are, your forecast becomes true, then you are going to make 2 crore 73 lakhs. So 74.86 would be your rate, and you have to make 2 crore 73 lakhs 16,189. So when you compare the two, first one hedged, second unhedged. Okay, fine. So which one is better? Option one is better. So it is better to take a forward cover in this case. Is that okay? Is it clear to everyone? Any doubts there, Aditi? Bhuvan? क्या नाम है? वैभव 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 अच्छा, और वो हाँ अनीश अनीश वैभव अनीश ओके, एंड दीपांशु तो कम ही आया, इसका नाम मुझे पता चल गया. Okay, is this clear? Now one more simple one, okay, which you can tell me after looking at this. Who will just raise their hand asking this question? take a forward call. Yeah. Why so? Because the rate is, the spot rate after 6 months are costlier compared to the 6 months rate today. Clear? ये clear आगे? अच्छा, these are simple questions which I made for some people. Okay, so let's me go to a little bit tougher ones. हाँ जी, फिर गया.
Yeah.
फिर गया भाई. मैं तो कुछ करा ही नहीं. So I'll go back to this thing only. हाँ, ऐसे आ जाओ. हाँ, it will come because the screen has moved. It should come. Okay. So see this. Okay. So an Indian importer who has to settle an import bill for $130,000, the exporter has given an importer two options. So you are an importer, okay, and you are going to settle an import bill of 130,000. So the exporter, who is the customer, has given you two options: pay immediately without any interest charges. Okay, कोई interest नहीं देंगे. Pay after 3 months with interest rate at 5% per annum. Pay after 3 months with interest rate at 5% per annum. The importer's bank charges 15% per annum on overdrafts. Okay, fine. Assume that you don't have money, you'll be using bank's money for making the payment. The exchange rates in the market are as follows: spot rate, 3 months forward rate is given. The importer seeks your advice. Okay. Now, if he makes the payment immediately without any interest, so that means which rate will be applicable? 78. So he has to make the payment at 70. Pay after 3 months with an interest rate of 5%. So he says, give me 5%, which means 1,30,000 into 5%. Huh? For 3 months. So 5% is per annum rate. So you add interest to it, okay? And paying after 3 months. The 3 month rate is 78.36. This one, okay? Now, pay immediately without any interest rate. Now, if you are paying immediately without interest charges, you are going to make at 78.36. But if you are compared with that option, then you have to add 15% interest rate to make comparison of both the cases. So let's understand. The importer pays now, he will have to buy US dollar in spot market, okay, by availing overdraft facility. So because he doesn't have money, he's go to the bank and says, give me money, I'm going to make a payment immediately to my customer. Facility accordingly. The following outflow under the option will be like this. So first of all, the current ask rate is applicable, the spot rate, okay, and add overdraft interest for 3 months, okay. So the total outflow would be, if you have to compare the two amounts, you have to add 3 months interest rate because you will pay that, isn't it? Then after that, we will do a similar question. The importer makes the payment after 3 months, then he will have to pay interest for 3 months at the rate of 5%. Okay, so which will be like this. 100,000 at interest for 3 months. So he has to pay 1,625 rupees as interest for 5% on 120,000 annual divided by 12 into 3. You will get this amount of 120,000. $16,625 is the interest package. Simple. So amount to pay in Indian rupees after 3 months will be 103, that means 1,31,000 into 78.3 forward rate. Okay. Then you compare the 2 months. Okay. What should you do? Okay. So option 1 is 1.5, option 2 is 1.3 lakhs. Where you know he actually asked the importer to charge interest for that because he's going to make the payment after 3 months. So he's going to be a 5% interest rate and with no overdraft interest. So which means he is going to pay 1 crore 3 lakh 75,000. Since the outflow in case cash is least, that is second option. Since the outflow of cash is least in the option 2, he should go for this one. Is that okay? Fine. So अब ये वाला आपके पास आ रहा है. Same question. Let's say a photograph you know and try to solve it. The similar question, okay? Just do it on your own. So first try to do it the first May, pay immediately without interest. So what is the amount? Anybody got? Pay. Have you got the amount? किसी ने अमाउंट लिखा है तो यहाँ आके अमाउंट लिख लो. Yes, are you ready? Are you ready? The amount, the first case, how much amount is going to be? Just put it here. Tell me what is the amount? Rupees. How much will you get? हाँ? Have you got the amount? नहीं, पहला वाला का बताओ amount कितनी है? Second one. Answer it. Yes, are you ready with the first scenario? Aditi, done? Okay? So, यहाँ amount आ जाए. Don't worry. Even I was not very sure the first time I did in my life. So that is always better that if you are not sure, and you will get a pleasant surprise if you get the answer right, or if you don't get the answer right, you will learn by mistakes. Both ways it's actually good. आपने रेट कैसे मल्टीप्लाई कराया? इसका 1 crore 22 lakhs का ब्रेकअप कैसे लिखा है? मैंने नहीं लिखा, नहीं कैलकुलेट किया. ओके. Are you doing this? हाँ तो इसमें वो भी दिया, आपने सब पूरा सॉल्व कर दिया. 122.61, very good. The first one answer is right. 122. Second one is 122.45, 745. Absolutely. Is that okay? Is this clear to all of you? Have you got it? Does it require any? आपको आगे समझ में? नहीं आया समझ में? Okay. So let's go back. Now pay immediately without any interest. So if he has to pay immediately, add to it 12% interest rate, because you are making upfront the payment, you are taking going to the bank and taking money, and you are going to pay a 3 months interest to the bank. Okay, so 150 into 79.36, is that okay? Then add 3 months overdraft interest. Okay, 12% per annum on the same amount, 1 crore 19 lakh 4,000. So if you calculate 12% on that for 3 months, it will come to 3 lakh. So total outflow will be 122 61 120. Is that okay? ये समझ आ गया? हाँ, मैं आपका नाम क्यों भूल गया? भुवनेश है? दीपांशु, अच्छा दीपांशु, सॉरी दीपांशु, कह रहा भुवेश. ओके, वो नहीं है. Okay, now the second one, if he makes the payment after 3 months, what he does, he has to make 4% payment, extra payment to the importer. Okay, so which means he is going to pay him 1,51,500 after 3 months. बोला मुझे 3 महीने के बाद दे दो. अब वो बोल रहा है तो उसको तो लॉस होगा ना, उसको ज्यादा चाहिए पैसा, $1,500 से ज्यादा झाड़ेगा, 3 महीने का इंटरेस्ट तो ले लिया उसने. ओके, नाउ since you are going to make at the forward rate, the rate applicable to would be 80.83, so which means it will be 1 crore 22 lakhs 45,745. So if you compare that, both one, you will find the option number 2 is better here again. Is that okay? Clear? अब ऐसा क्वेश्चन आपके एग्जाम में आएगा, ये तो बड़ा सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है, isn't it? सिंपल है? What do you say, Gulin? Gunika, is it simple? Okay. गरिमा, what about you? भुवन, अदिति, सिंपल, आपने तो कर ही लिया. ओके, चलो एक्सरसाइज नंबर 14. So okay, now this you can do it yourself. Gibraltar Limited has imported 5,000 bottles of shampoo at a landed cost in Mumbai of 20 each. The company has a choice for paying the goods immediately or in 3 months' time. It has a clean overdraft limit where 12% is charged. Okay. Okay. Now this question has a little bit twist, not the same thing. Okay. So he has got 5,000 bottles at 20 each. That means $1 lakh. 5,000 multiplied by 20, so total imports, are going to be $1 lakh. The company has a choice for paying the goods immediately or in 3 months' time, the same kind of system. It has a clean overdraft limit where it gets 14% rate per annum interest is charged. So bank has given the overdraft limit, which you can use that. Now, calculate which of the following method would be cheaper. Pay in 3 months' time with interest at 10% and cover the risk forward for 3 months. Settle now at the current spot rate and pay interest of the overdraft for 3 months. The rates are as follows. Now the rates are given are the spot rates and 3 months swap points are given to me. Instead of the rate, the swap points are given to me. Okay. So first of all, tell me, Aditi, suppose the spot rate is 79.25 and 79.55. So this is the spot rate. So what will be the forward rate? Forward rate क्या होगा? 79.60 and 79.80. ऐसे ही होगा ना रेट? अगर हम इसको ऐसे ऐड कर दें, ये दिया 79.80. Oh no, गलती. Now look at this. Always look at. So you can't just simply, add these. So here basically what you have to do is you have to minus 0.35. Okay. So the rate you get will be how much? 78.90. Okay. So this should be the rate. And what will be the rate here? 79.30. So this should be the rate. Okay. Fine. So this was only the catch. So 78.90 and 79.30. Okay. Rest is the same thing. Have you got it? ठीक है सर आप ये देखो रेट देखो इसमें दिया है the rates are as follows. Mumbai rupee spot 79.25, that's 79.5. So bid rate and ask rate settlement. 3 month swaps, the swap point should also be increasing order. If it is decreasing order, which means that the dollar is going to depreciate against the rupee in next 3 months time. So this is what the bank is expecting. Okay, interbank rates are due to that. So which means now you don't have to just add the 4 points to the bid and ask, you have to minus them, okay, instead of adding. So 79.25 minus 0.35. So the forward rate will be 78.90. 78.90. Okay, fine. So I'll just show you here. So the swap rate will be 78.90 and 79.30. Is that okay? Okay. Now, suppose he is going to make the payment in 3 months' time, then how much interest he is supposed to pay to the importer? 10%, isn't it? Pay in 3 months' time with interest at 10%. So, which means he is going to make a payment of 1,02,500 if you add 10% interest for 3 months. Okay. But then if at what rate he is going to pay, in the forward market, the rate applicable will be 79.30. Okay. So, just see the answer here. Is that okay? Repayment obligation is 1,02,500 into 79.30, which that means the total outflow on account of rupee will be 81,28,250. Okay. So here you should always remember, you should look at the swap points. If the swap points are in increasing order, then you have to simply add them, okay, to the bid and ask. If they are decreasing order, which means going forward, the currency is a discount. Okay. So that means you have to minus it to arrive at the forward rate. Now, this is very peculiar in case of rupee dollar, but it can happen. Okay. So just to check your knowledge, okay, that rupee can also appreciate against the dollar in a short period of time, and it is happening here. That is what the market is factoring that. Okay. The interbank market is saying the rupee is going to strengthen, okay, in the coming 3 months. Is this clear? ये समझ में आ गया गुरलीन? अच्छा, अब इसको कंपेयर करेंगे जब वो ओवरड्राफ्ट लेता है. अब ओवरड्राफ्ट लेता है तो वो स्पॉट रेट के हिसाब से लेता है और उसको 14% रेट देना पड़ता है. तो टोटल आउटफ्लो इज दिस. ओके. So option number 1 is preferred because the total outflow in here is this much. Okay. So अगर हम दोबारा कंपेयर करें तो here he was paying 81,28,250. Garima, have you followed the first one? 81,28,000. Now in the second it is coming 82,33,000. So that means the first option is better, where he uses the forward rate and pays some interest to the importer. Okay. Is this clear? Though, when they are solved, they look very easy. Okay. But you can make, even I was making a mistake because I didn't not seen my slides for long. Okay. And I don't remember. Sometimes the swap points can trouble you. Is that okay? Okay. So I'm just going to skip this. So this is the most important part. I never thought we will be using here. Okay, today, I will be going all the people are away. We're not on the questions. We're just seeing the answers. That's why we're going to reach there. Can I see futures market? Right? So this is the most important one.
So here we are going to go to the stock exchange. Yeah. This is a major topic. We can have a break. I thought you were interested in the major topic, but actually, अभी सुनो एक second. अभी हम 5 मिनट का break करेंगे. I'll repeat whatever I said. Okay. Let's have a little bit, understanding. This is the topic you like the most. Okay. Fine. If you listen, but if you don't listen, then you're going to absolutely fly over it. Okay. It's very easy. Very, very easy. It flies only at some times. But the flying part is only the options. Future is very simple. Okay. Now, can you see future? Future contracts in India are only a couple of them. These are the rates in which you can go to the exchange. You can cover your foreign currency risk. Either USD, INR, they always will pay. Okay. अगर आपका डॉलर में एक्सपोजर है तो you look at this rate. If you have exposure in euro, then you and I are interested. If you have exposure in pound, this is the exposure which you are interested in. And Japanese versus so these are only how many currencies? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are only currencies available on the stock exchange annually. These are the major ones. They are almost 70 to 80% of your needs will get covered through the futures. Now to make the market, now maximum 12 monthly contracts. So there are 12 months contracts which are available at any given point of time. When you go to the stock exchange, there are 12 months which are available. Suppose today is what? January. So we will have February, right up to next January. So 12 months contracts are open at all the time. Now if you are, suppose you are an importer and you are going to receive your payment in the month of October 23, then you go to October 23 contracts and trade there, not any other contract. So आप आपके लिए October 23 वाला contract जो अभी भी खुला हुआ है, जिसमें आप trade कर सकते हो, you go and see the exchange rates at particular time. Like you go to the forward rate for October, okay? Here you have to go to the market and look at the October rates, okay? Fine. So there are maximum 12 monthly contracts available at any given point of time. Now, since the market, to make the market for USD INR, particularly USD INR, the futures are more liquid. NSE is now more weekly currency futures on USD. So now there are weekly contracts also. Okay? So 12 contract time plus for the month of, say, for example, for the month of February, there will be weekly contracts also. 4 weekly contracts. Okay? So to just make a mistake, so there will be 12 contracts plus next month 4 weekly contracts. So there will be 16 contracts available all the time. Just to give you a easy check of how many number of contracts are actually available, but just theoretically. And why are weekly? Somebody won't like to have a weekly, go for a week. Okay. But otherwise, monthly contracts are very simple, and you have to actually go for a monthly. But you can go for weekly also. Okay. But I will discuss that. Okay. So I'll take you to the stock exchange shortly. Now, there is a lot size. That means you can trade in multiples of, just one more slide and we have a break. You can trade in multiples of $1,000. Okay? 1,000 euros, 1,000 pounds and 1,000. 1 lakh yen. Yen means 8 lakh. That means, suppose you have to make a 10,000 trade, $10,000 payment. Then you are going to make a position in 10,000 contracts. 10 contracts. कितने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लेंगे 10 कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बिकॉज एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जो है $1,000 है एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ले देंगे $1,000 अगर आपको $10,000 का पेमेंट करनी है so you are going to actually take a position in 10 contracts so they are $10,000 by $1,000 gives you 10 contracts. Similarly it will happen for euros, pounds, for yen it will be 1 lakh. Suppose you have to make 10 lakh yen payment, then you have to enter 10 contracts in yens. Okay. So अभी तक क्लिक ना एक स्लाइड और चलते हैं 2 स्लाइड एक या 2 स्लाइड that is the most important one. We are going to understand this through an example. Then I take you to stock exchange to see how this example works. Okay. Should I cover the example now or after the break? But break exactly break This is the most important thing if you're going to do. This is a future contract. Fine.
So what's the time now? 15:23. हाँ एक सेकंड कॉफी कौन पिलाएगा? नहीं भुवन भुवन पिलाएगा? नहीं भुवन लास्ट टाइम कौन लेके आया था? आप लेके आए थे। भुवन ये लो अरे पकड़ो ना एक